In this training video, we will be covering front-end training as it pertains to management and supervisor staff. Once this video concludes, you will have a strong understanding of how to both start and end the day on your POS and be able to deal with most front-end operational concerns. The first topic is related to starting your day properly. First, you must make sure that the date and time is accurate on the top left-hand corner of the screen. If the date is incorrect, it could either be that the computer's Windows date is wrong or that the day did not finish successfully the previous night. End of day is configured to automatically close at a certain time after the business ends. In order for the automatic end of day to work properly, station number 1 must be running with PixelPoint. If station number 1 is not running during the time window of the end of day, you could have your system stuck on the previous date. Aside from this issue, there are other potential problems, such as the POS incorrectly configured, the date and/or time is wrong on the POS computer, or there is an error or printer message stuck on station 1. For the issues above, we recommend first making sure that your station 1 is turned on and is free of any error messages. Wait for a minute to see if your end-of-day processes. If your station 1 is on and is working, and your end-of-day is not moving forward, please call our service technicians to assist you further before starting any transactions for the day. At the end of each day, we recommend checking to ensure that all transactions have been closed out of the system and all employees have been cashed out and closed out. First off, please select the End of Day System check button to have a quick glance if there are any employees still cashed in and if there are any open tables. If you do not have this button available, you will have to go into the Manager functions manually to check, which will be shown shortly. You can also ask to have this button added to your screen by sending an email request to our service team at service@starpos.ca. In end-of-day system check, if there are no employees or open tables in that visibility, you have completed your closing duties on the POS. If you do see either employees or open tables, we will be covering how to deal with these concerns. Log in with a Manager access code, select Manager. Next, select Transaction Viewer. Spot check to make sure there are open transactions under Show Open Transactions. Simply highlight the transaction and select View and select Use Check. Once in the transaction, you can void the transaction by selecting Functions and void entire check and followed by hitting the Cash button. Or you can select Finish button and close the transaction to the correct tender. Please repeat these steps until all transactions are closed. Once this is complete, select Manager, then select Employee Time Clock. You will see all currently working employees with a potential check mark if they still require cash out. Select the employee and hit Cash Out at the bottom of the screen and select Yes for Detailed to cash them out manually. Once this is complete, select Clock Out Employee button at the bottom of the screen. Repeat these steps until every employee is cashed out and clocked out. Please note, only use these steps if the employees are no longer on premises to complete cash out or transactions, as it's always better to have the employees take care of their own transactions and cash outs for reporting accuracy. Now that we have covered start day and end day procedures, I am going to go through other management features within PixelPoint. Log in with a Manager code and select the Manager button. In this screen, you will see all the managerial functions that you can use at your disposal. First, we'll go through Transaction Viewer. Select Transaction Viewer. By default, this screen will show you open transactions. You can flip to Show Closed Transactions by hitting Show Closed Transactions at the bottom. In here, you can see all closed transactions for the day. If you need to reopen any of these bills to either void the entire transaction, modify a payment method, or modify the bill in general, select the transaction and select Unclose. followed by selecting Yes at the prompt and select a table number to attach the reopened transaction to. Quick note, if you are trying to fix another person's cash out, ensure you are logging in as that employee and use your manager PIN to override security prompts rather than logging in as yourself. Once open, you can deal with the transaction as required. The first way is to void the check completely by selecting Void Entire Check and ensure to select Cash to close the transaction. You can also change the tender by going to Finish and selecting a different tender method. In either of these scenarios, the original payment and voided items will be shown as a negative on the bill so you can understand what was removed. Next, I will briefly show you how to handle reopening a transaction from the perspective of using an employee number rather than a manager number. Going back to the Manager screen, select Employee Time Clock. This screen will allow you to clock out or cash out employees as required. You can also clock in employees by selecting the employee on the left-hand side and select Clock In. You are able to change start and end times of employees by selecting the shift you want to change and either select Change Start Time or Change End Time and enter in the date and time at the prompts. Lastly, you can select Reprint Cash Out at this screen in case the original cash out sheet has been missed. Back to the Manager screen, select Product Functions. From here, you can select Sold Out Item if you need to block employees from ringing in a particular item. Find the item on the screen and hit the Select button. Shortly after, you will see a sold out message on the POS, followed by that item being unselectable. If you go back and instead select Sold an Item, you can allow the button to be selectable again. On this screen, you can also set countdown for items as well in case you have a particular product that only has a certain quantity. Once the quantity is reached, the button will not be selectable afterwards. Next, we will cover Printer Manager. Select Manager, then select Printer Manager. If you ever need to redirect printers either due to a printer mechanically not working or you need to route print jobs to a different printer, the Print Manager will allow you to manage your printers. To redirect a printer, highlight the printer in question and select Redirect Printer. From there, select the printer you want to redirect to and hit Select. Once done, your redirected printer will be highlighted in orange and the redirected to printer will be highlighted in yellow. To cancel all redirects, you can select Reset All Redirects. Once complete, all your printers will be highlighted in green indicating redirection has been canceled. Next, we will cover Sales Functions. Select Manager and then select Sales Functions. Dayprint Sales will allow you to print off a sales report from your receipt printer for the total sales of all employees up to this point. Please do not select Day Finish Sales as this will close the day off. Next, select View Current Sales. In here, you will see a graphical representation of your sales if you want to have a quick look instead of printing off a report.